Shalom. I'd like to start out by giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rakach Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of Israel. This is Thamayim in Atlanta, and I've got this article from the Army Times, and it says Medals of Honor for soldiers who perpetrated Wounded Knee Massacre may be rescinded. And that title should stand out to you because it shows that members of the U.S. Army actually received the highest prestige, the highest medal within all of the armed forces for committing a massacre against women, children, and old men. They absolutely mowed them down in retaliation to the Battle of Little Bighorn. It says lawmakers took a step last week towards taking back the nation's highest award for valor from Army troops who perpetrated one of the most infamous Native American massacres in U.S. history. The legislation to revoke the medals passed the House of Representatives as an amendment to the fiscal 2023 Defense Policy Bill. Similar attempts have made it this far before, however, only to be stymied during compromises between the House and Senate versions of the bill. Some 20 soldiers received the Medal of Honor following the December 29, 1890 massacre near Wounded Knee Creek, South Dakota, where troops from the 7th Cavalry and accompanying artillery units killed hundreds of Lakota men, women, and children. The U.S. troops had nearly completed confiscating weapons from a Lakota encampment when a struggle with a reportedly deaf man sparked a chaotic, one-sided firefight. When the smoke cleared, dozens of cavalry troopers were wounded or killed by friendly fire, which means they shot themselves, likely from their artillery, and hundreds of Lakota were dead. And so, this whole massacre at Wounded Knee, it was in retaliation to the Battle of Little Bighorn, in which Crazy Horse and Sitting Bull stomped out the U.S. Cavalry. And in that battle, General Custer, was killed. And so if you go back and look at this battle, it was the Battle of Little Bighorn. It was as a result of Esau still pushing into Gadite territory that a treaty was made for them to not be in at all. But gold was actually found in the Black Foothills. And so Esau, being the greedy people that they are, they had to go get that gold. And so they pushed into the Black Foothills, Gadite territory, and eventually this Battle of Little Bighorn happened from Esau breaking treaties, which they broke hundreds of treaties with the Gadites. And then in retaliation for the killing of Custer and losing the Battle of Little Bighorn, they came in and wiped out the Lakotas. They killed 300 plus women, children, and old men. And 20-something soldiers ended up getting medals of honor for this massacre. But at this point in time where we are, this stuff is being called out, and Esau's glory is turning into shame. So we're going to start out with Habakkuk 2 and 16. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered, as in exposure. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. Because that whole thing is a shame, and it's an exposition on them for killing a bunch of women and children. And they gloried in it so much that they even gave their highest medal of honor, their highest accolade in the armed forces to these men. And now it's being taken away. And it's a shame, even though they gloried in this. And it's all Esau's glory being turned into shame. I'm going to get Obadiah 1 and 10. And all this is happening because for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, and the Gadites are Jacob. They're one of the tribes of Israel, which Jacob's name was changed to Israel. And he had 12 sons, one of them being Gad, who are where the Native Americans stem from. So, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. And that massacre is one of the best examples of that violence. Because at this point, people are waking up to all of the atrocities of the Edomites and all of their wicked dealings, all the treaties that have been broken, just their ways, and these things that they gloried in. Like they gloried in Wounded Knee, so much that they used to just call it a battle, but it was really a massacre. And it's being found out. These medals might possibly be taken away. We'll have to see about that. But it's a shame. It's a shame that it's even being talked about. It's a shame onto those soldiers' families who thought they had a Medal of Honor holder within their family, but he's really just a murderer. I want to get Job 20 and 10 because there are Gadites who are pushing for this bill, but a lot of it is actually Esau pushing for this bill as well. It says Job 20 and 10, his children shall seek to please the poor being the Israelites, and the Gadites make up part of the Israelites. And his hands shall restore their goods, because they know that judgment is coming, and they're trying to make it right. There's no righting this because it's just all been so wrong. So many wrongs have been committed. You can't wrong it with any amount of money, or you can't right it with any amount of money. Genesis 49 and 19, because this is the end game. Once Yahushua returns, he's going to allow all this to be righted. This is Genesis 49 and 19. Gad, a troop shall overcome him, and that troop being the U.S. Cavalry. They overcame him. That battle, or the Wounded Knee Massacre, is just one example, but there are many other battles and many other atrocities committed to take the land of America, which is Babylon, and the resources within the land, plus all the treaties that were broken. Gad was overcome. It says, Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. Because this isn't over. They got the first licks in, but in the end, Gad will be over the Edomites who overcame him. So, Lord willing, that was edifying. I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakach, Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of Israel. Shalom.